This is breaking news from RTV6, working for you.
I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. Right now at 6, water rescues as flooding takes hold in central Indiana.
A local storm report from the National Weather Service shows crews are rescuing people across Noblesville.
Hamilton County Emergency Management also says dozens of stretches of roadway should be avoided right now. This is an image from Carmel where there's flooding at several spots, including 106th and Keystone.
And there are so many spots across Hamilton County that you need to avoid. We can't list them all here. We are posting all the areas you need to stay away from right now in the RTV6 mobile app. And it is a Storm Team 6 alert day with growing threats of flash flooding across the state.
Now you're looking live at the White River. This is from our RTV6 tower cam on top of the Salesforce skyscraper downtown. And this is a very dire situation that people are dealing with here at the 6 o'clock hour. The chief meteorologist Kevin Gregory is here with us this evening looking at the flooding conditions and what's ahead for us.
So we've also had reports of some water rescues in Noblesville. That would involve White River, obviously. Those of you in Carmel, Hamilton County familiar with Cool Creek and the flooding potential there. And then the eastern side as you get to River Road and then the Fishers area, we've got to just watch these rapid changes in river levels. Here's why. We've had 2 inches or more of rain in some cases in an hour-and-a-half period of time, leading to the flash flooding. If you've never seen the power of water, trust me, you don't want to. It can quickly move cars, sweep them away with flowing water of maybe a foot, 6 inches or a foot. We have limited severe weather potential in the sense of damaging wind and large hail. We'll see more thunderstorms there from Indianapolis north, very northern Marion County, all the way through Hamilton, Tipton, and the eastern portions of Howard County. This has been the area of concern the last few hours with ongoing flash flooding. What I can tell you is the rain intensity for now is let up. We're not getting rain in Hamilton County. Much needed break for those that are, for example, Carmel Fire Department making some of these water rescues for cars stuck in high water. Heaviest rain between Marion, Hartford City, and Portland. We slide down to the south. Heavy rainfall, Connorsville, Cambridge City, headed to you in Richmond. And then this additional rainfall, it loses a little steam because it's already behind an area that put down the heavy rainfall. So I think that will lower our overall severe weather threat this evening. We'll talk about getting a break from this pattern, at least briefly, coming up.
And tonight, RTV6 is joining in the fight for your quality of life.
From a community rising up to demand fresh local produce,
to a safety issue that could be the reason a man is dead.
We found 6 intersections along one road on the northeast side where the pedestrian crosswalk signals are not working. I'm Stephanie Wade, and I found out the city's been aware of this for months.
RTV6 is asking why the city has several busy intersections near the Castleton Square Mall have non-functioning pedestrian crosswalk signals.
Yeah, and someone was actually killed by a driver in a hit and run where one of these signals is currently out.
Now, RTV6's Stephanie Wade is looking into the issue on the northeast side.
Back in February, a man was killed walking at this intersection by a driver that fled the scene. That's when Matthew Stone, who lives nearby, noticed the pedestrian crosswalk signals were not working.
I'm frustrated that it's taken so long to get to this point.
4 months after a 24-year-old man was killed walking near 82nd Street and the Castleton Square Mall, the pedestrian crosswalk signals here are still out.
I know I'm not the only pedestrian and the only person who walks around here.
In fact, we counted 6 intersections along 82nd from Ivy Knoll to Bash Street where the signals are not working.
People are going to cross no matter what. It would be nice if there was a safe way to do so.
You can see why this could be dangerous. You think it's safe to cross. The cars are stopped here, but without knowing that these drivers have a turn arrow and no pedestrian crosswalk signal to tell you to stop, a car could hit you in a second.
I just want a timeline of when they're going to get fixed.
And we have that timeline for you. The Department of Public Works tells me they're aware the crosswalk signals are in need of repair. Adding the signals was part of a resurfacing project that happened last year. They assure me they'll be functioning before July 12th. Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
DPW also adds, because of wet weather, the traffic operations team who works on pedestrian signals has responded to nearly 1,800 calls of service and 60 major accidents involving traffic and pedestrian signal problems since April 1st. The traffic operations team prioritizes emergency calls as they come in.
RTV6 cares about your safety. If you notice crosswalks not working, we want to hear from you. Reach out to RTV6, send a message to workingforyou@rtv6.com, and we will get to the bottom of that issue.
Another Northeast side grocery store may soon be closing its doors.
Last week, we told you the neighborhood Walmart Market at 38th Street and Franklin Road will be closing this summer.
Now today, we've learned a nearby A&I grocery store may also be closing.
Customers and the owner of the mom and pop shop talked first with RTV6's Cameron Riddle about what must happen for those doors to stay open.
In the shadows of a closed Kroger grocery store sits A&I Variety Meats and Produce, another Far East Side store that may soon be closing its doors for good. RTV6 first reported when the store opened its doors in January of this year, with a plan to fill a grocery store void left behind by multiple large grocers, including Marsh, Kroger, and just last week, Walmart. A&I's owner, Robert Hurst, didn't want to talk on camera today, but tells RTV6 the store is struggling, and without financial help and support from city leaders, his store could be out of business in less than a month. Residents who call this community home say it is time for the people who live here to come together and let city leaders know the food desert is killing their community.
We're running out of places to go. We have transportation issues. And so Robert's here trying to make a go and have some place for our people to go.
It's time to raise up. We got to get off of Facebook. We got to get out here in these streets. We can't keep being Facebook activists and being all mad on Facebook, and then when it's time to show up, we're not doing anything.
And the community will get that chance to come together and have the discussion about the food desert situation here in this community at 8 o'clock on Friday night. In Indianapolis, I'm Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Thanks, Cameron. And working for you to bring problems like this to an end. New today, a problematic lingering leak on the east side has now been fixed after RTV6 looked into this issue. Residents reached out to us last week saying the leak had been running for over a month and Citizens Energy Group would not address the problem. Concerned neighbors said the leak not only was washing away the road and sidewalk, but it affected water pressure. RTV6 headed back out to that neighborhood today. We found the leak had been fixed by Citizens Energy Group. Again, if you have a problem like this, email us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Looking to give the homeless and panhandlers a step up, the city of Indianapolis has been doing something not many other cities do, giving them jobs. The program to pay panhandlers to clean up the city started about a month ago. The city partners with Keys to Work, an Indianapolis staffing agency. The workers pick up trash downtown, sometimes going into alleyways to work. The new program was funded by an extension of parking meter hours downtown and in Broad Ripple earlier this year. One worker we spoke with today said he became homeless after his mother died and he turned to alcohol and drugs. He says it's been tough to find a job because of the stigma of being homeless.
It was pretty hard. Sometimes I'd be hurt so bad I just wanted to cry so bad because being slammed in the door in my face. And then I came here and it's just, I felt that atmosphere and I was like, I gotta go for it.
The employees earn about $10 an hour for the days that they work.
Now, hiring Hoosiers is RTV6's way of addressing the skills gap in central Indiana, connecting you with the skills and resources you need to get a job you love.
Yeah, and that process starts early. There's a major deadline for a local program that really gives students a leg up in paying for college. RTV6's Derek Thomas has a closer look.
7th and 8th graders may qualify for free college tuition.
In case you missed those public service announcements, we are here to remind you. You have until June 30th to fill out this application to be a 21st Century Scholar. Your family must meet income eligibility requirements, but if you don't apply, you can't receive those benefits.
We want more students to take advantage of that because one thing that we do know is that just like everything else, college is going to get more expensive. And so we want to be able to help those students, especially those first generation college students that are going on to a 2 or 4 year college here in the state of Indiana, to be able to help them with that tuition.
I believe I can succeed.
This is 14-year-old Ryan McMillan. Her mother made sure she was signed up.
Yes, this opportunity does alleviate some of the fears that are associated with the rising costs of colleges. Absolutely.
Wilson's daughter plans on attending Riverside High School in the fall. After she graduates, she plans on attending Indiana University.
I want to become a musician, and so it's one less, so money will be a huge a huge weight lifted off my shoulders, and I can mainly focus on my musical degree.
While in school, McMillan will have to maintain a 2.5 grade point average on a 4-point scale. She says she'll be able to handle that. And you remember Esther Gamble, who we talked to earlier? She was in the first class of 21st Century Scholars. She graduated from Indiana University in 1995. McMillan is paying attention. Derek Thomas, RTV6.
Thanks, Derek. And 21st Century Scholars also pledges you also have to pledge not to use illegal drugs or alcohol or commit in crimes or delinquent acts while in school.
Still ahead, helping people get the skills they need to get the jobs they want.
The local staffing company pairing people with a success coach to make sure they reach their goal, coming up in Hiring Hoosiers.
Plus, the big NBA draft is just around the corner tomorrow, and it's not just about who goes there and who goes where. RTV6 Sports Director Dave First has the inside scoop, including reaction from IU star Romeo Langford.
And 1.5 to 2 inches of rain has caused big problems in Carmel on up to Noblesville in Hamilton County. We'll talk about the rain moving out temporarily coming up.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Welcome back with RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers. Our goal is to not only get you a job, but get you career resources. One company seeking to grow the skills of its talent pool has even added a success coach to help people looking for a better job and get what they want. Now, Indy-based staffing company, the Morales Group, matches people interested in moving up with the training they need to make it happen. People selected must have a proven record of good job attendance, plus a good attitude and aptitude. Each person also has access to a success coach to help them reach their goal.
With this upcoming challenge of the 1 million jobs in the next 10 years, we can't afford to let Hoosiers just sit where they are. Being more proactive about creating a pipeline to develop them, I think, is going to be the trend.
The Morales Group also believes its GROW efforts will help employers create a better workplace culture and invest in their current workforce.
As we celebrate 70 years of broadcast history, many of those memories are sports related.
And it all started on our first day, May 30th, 1949, when we aired the Indy 500 live. And a few years later, in 1951, we got the contract to air the state high school basketball finals through 1977.
And in the midst of all that, we also put a high school football final on TV for the first time. For producer-director Julio Chico Fernandez, that posed quite a logistical dilemma because the game was quite a long ways away.
So I tried to figure out, how are we going to do this? So this is crazy, but we did it. I said, what happens if we record the first half and we have a studio crew here that will do commentary while we wait for the tape and start the actual football game? So I hire a helicopter to fly the tape. I think, gosh, I don't know if it was close to the Kentucky border. I know that. I can't remember exactly where it was. But anyhow, I hired the helicopter. They finished the first half, put the tape in the helicopter. Where do I land it? Lucky for us, what is now the I-65, I-70 spur that goes through the city was under construction. And there was an exit that they were doing on Meridian Street. So I got permission from the FAA to land the helicopter on the street there. There was no traffic. I mean, they were still under construction. So we landed the helicopter there. A guy grabbed it, got on a car, brought it to the studio. We started running the first half of the game, and then they did the same thing for the second half. That was the craziest things we used to do, but it was fun. Exciting, hard to do, but it was enjoyable.
And that's what it's all about. To watch all of our 70th anniversary stories and our 1-hour special, head to theindychannel.com and click on 70 Years Together at the top of the home page.
Well, we're following active flooding right now. Hamilton County on up through Tipton and eastern Howard County. This is just one of many cars in Hamilton County that got trapped by high water. So you got Noblesville Fire Department as well as Carmel reacting to those situations. As we look at flash flooding potential from here on out, when I mean from here on out, from now through the weekend. It will take less rain each time to create more dramatic results like we're seeing in areas that are flood prone. You know where you live, you know where the flood areas are, so just be alert here. You could see 2 inches of rainfall with any of these thunderstorms that roll through over the next couple of days. Flooding is our highest concern. Severe weather, damaging wind, large hail, less of a concern thanks to the first round of storms kind of calming things down just a little bit. There are all your flash flood warnings. We'll see a lot more of this color as we go through the next several days. Carmel, Fishers, Noblesville, on up through Tipton, and now Kokomo itself, and to the east portion of Howard County through Greentown. There goes the heaviest rain now through Marion, Hartford City, and Portland. That will be good to see move out of the area, and we're getting a break in those that have the active flooding in Hamilton County. Richmond to Connorsville, heavy rainfall there. This has been moving steadily to the east, maybe a little northeast, from Martinsville to Bloomington to Bedford. Certainly pockets of heavy rainfall with that. This is critical. It's our Storm Shield app. It is free. It will pass along flood warnings, flash flood warnings. It's a weather radio for your phone. If you lose power at home, you'll still have the information. Free Storm Shield app. During the day tomorrow, any of these showers and thunderstorms overnight tonight will thin out. But I think as we get to tomorrow morning, an isolated shower or thunderstorm around, then we dry out for a while. Morning showers, noticeably cooler tomorrow in the afternoon, drying out. Temperatures stay in the 70s, and the humidity will be much lower as well. Highs from north to south, upper 60s, Logansport and Marion. Temperatures mid-70s to the south. Any additional thunderstorms, I think, will not be as widespread as what we've had today. As you look at Friday, temperatures below average to the south. Temperatures push 80 degrees, though, as you get to Bloomington, Bedford. Chance for a shower thunderstorm southwest portions of the state Friday. Just kind of creeps in briefly. I think the more widespread rain will come back with heavy rainfall potential over the weekend, especially Saturday night and Sunday, lingering into Monday. 87 steamy degrees on Sunday for the high.
That's
steamy
warm.
degrees.
Steamy.
That's one way to put it.
Humidity's coming, right?
All right.
June.
Yeah, hey, Dave.
It's only June, guys. Hey, thanks. Good evening. Big couple of days for the NBA. The draft is tomorrow night, but really it's not just who goes where. The trades have already begun and will continue really throughout the course of the next couple of days. As for the draft itself, 20 of the 30 players expected to be taken in the first round on hand in New York City today. That includes Zion Williamson, who's expected to be the top pick for the New Orleans Pelicans. Former IU star Romeo Langford was there today. He's recovering from off-season thumb surgery, says he should be ready to play the summer leagues in a couple weeks, and says he's enjoyed the draft process.
Just going to Chicago for the draft combine and seeing all the familiar faces that I grew up playing with in AAU, playing against, just seeing us all in one setting. It's been good. I've been enjoying myself. I mean, it's been long, but it's really been an enjoyable process.
It sounds like it, right? Hang in there, Romeo. Meanwhile, the draft deals are already underway. Former Lawrence North star Mike Conley Jr. been traded from the Grizzlies to the Jazz. Memphis gets Jay Crowder, Kyle Korver, and Grayson Allen in return, plus the Jazz's 23rd overall pick. So Conley averaged a career-high 21 points a game last season. He is heading out west. While the kids might be off to summer camp, the Colts will be there soon enough. This morning, the team releasing its training camp highlights. Really something for everyone next month as they get back at it. Grant Park and Westfield, they report Wednesday, July 24th, with opening day set for Thursday, the 25th. There are no night practices, either morning or afternoon this time, with several theme days as well, from Kids Day to Community Day, Armed Forces Day, and a barbecue bash as well. It wraps up with joint practices with the Cleveland Browns ahead of the preseason game coming up August 17th.
We really feel like we learned a lot in our first year to make this year even better. So we are really excited for our fans to come out and see the changes that we made to make it even better for them and better for our players to prepare.
Can't wait. Hey, finally tonight, first and foremost, from Brickyard Crossing. This was a couple weeks ago. I had the opportunity to play golf with some friends out there. Only problem, NASCAR's William Byron is also testing out there. So I sent out a tweet kidding around. Hey, William Byron, keep it down. We're trying to tee off here. Well, today he sends this. a box of balls, and a note saying, "Dave, sorry for the noise. See you in September." Signed, William Byron. William drives for the famed number 24 Hendrick Motorsports team, and he will be back September 8th for the Brickyard 400. We'll see you then, William. By the way, bring your clubs. Brad Brown with a look ahead at the Pacers draft prospects tonight on the news at 11 o'clock. Until then, the News 6 continues after this.
Need to know. EdMartinToyota.com.
Part of RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers is getting kids ready to be the workers of tomorrow, and here's a strong example of that.
Hundreds of children will be spending their time on hands-on educational programs through the Purdue Athletes Life Success, or PALS Camp. For 5 weeks, kids from ages 8 to 14 will take part in activities that take engineering, health, and nutrition beyond the classroom. Looks like fun.
It does look like fun and helping them get enriched and on to the next level, right?
Well, you talk about the outdoor sports have had a rough go of it here for the last month or something. They got really lucky at Victory Field to get some of those games in the last couple of days. It's all about flooding this evening. We've talked about the significant flooding, Carmel area on up to Noblesville and then through Tipton and Kokomo. That's where the flash flood warnings are in effect between now and 9 o'clock tonight. Although the heavy rain has ended, the water still has not been receding. From Marion to Hartford City to Portland, torrential rain there, then also Winchester to Richmond. This is swinging back into areas that have already had rain. Martinsville to Bloomington through Nashville to Franklin expect some heavy rain. Any additional rain now will create these flash flooding situations now through the weekend.
An active radar tonight.
See you at 7.